It's a stressful time of year to be a university student. With final exams just weeks away, libraries are packed with people hitting the books and pulling all-nighters. Some students might be getting some help, but it's not just from their professors. The abuse of prescription medication is becoming increasingly common on campus. Tonight, our Nick Purdon takes us beyond the study hall and into the world of study drugs.
I really hadn't expected it to be so potent. I hadn't anticipated this annihilation of any other distractions.
I wanted that edge. I wanted to just make sure I didn't fail and waste all my money.
When I went to school, it was coffee or maybe Jolt Cola that got me through exams. Today, it seems students use prescription drugs. Drugs prescribed to help people with attention deficit disorders. But if you don't have ADD and you take one of these pills, well, I'll let Alex explain what happens.
I can sit down in my room, take one of them, and start working on an essay, researching, writing 10 hours straight, not even hungry. Don't have to go to the bathroom, just from 8 in the morning till 5 or 6 at night. And you're just doing work the whole time without thinking about other stuff.
You can see the attraction. In fact, students have even rebranded these pills as study drugs. Reports from the United States suggest that as many as 30% of students use them. In Canada, numbers are harder to come by. So I came here to Western University in London, Ontario to find out for myself. Have you ever done any study drugs?
Well, I've been offered them once, but yeah, I turned it down. I heard a lot of kids in sciences are using them.
Could you get one, you think, if you needed one today?
Yeah, that's not an issue. I do hear about them. I work in residence, so I hear about them, but I don't do them.
How prevalent do you think it is?
It's pretty widespread.
Have you ever done any study drugs?
Study drugs, yeah, once. I have a ridiculous amount of work, like too much to handle.
It's also kind of cheating. A little bit. It's actually a lot cheating.
I would say probably 50% of people. I don't know. I think that a lot of people at least have tried it.
Standing there talking to 25 or so students, only 2 hadn't heard of study drugs. Makes you wonder what the university is doing about them.
It's not something that we've seen in great numbers in residences or within our health services or anywhere else on campus.
You say there's no real evidence. Have you looked for it?
Well, I'm not sure what we would look for. We deal in residence and across campus when we have behaviors that come to our attention, but, so we would deal with it if we had any behaviors or someone was acting in a way that, that wasn't appropriate. But other than that, we wouldn't go looking for.
But that's the thing with study drugs. Students who take them won't be acting inappropriately. They'll be studying for hours and hours. So unless you look for them, you're not going to find them. With exams coming up, Alex has his pills all lined up.
I take it when I go into exams because for me that's the most nerve-wracking part of my university experience, knowing that I have to go into a room for 2 or 4 hours and 30–40% of my grade is determined by those 2 or 4 hours.
Next I meet Andrew, who has seen how popular study drugs are firsthand.
When I was in first year, a friend of my roommate, he was a drug dealer, and one of the anecdotes he told was how selling Adderall was very lucrative around exam time. How going to Weldon, which is the main library here at Western, the analogy he used was baseball, how he was just tossing out pills and people were just gulping them down.
How much would he get per pill, you know?
$10 is the going rate, as far as I know.
Where do you get the drugs?
My little brother. I take them from my little brother.
Does he know?
No.
Do your parents know?
No.
What do you think they'd say?
My mom would be disappointed. They'd be disappointed, especially because I take it from my little brother, particularly because of that aspect of it.
But that's how important you think it is to you, right? that you will do?
I'm willing to risk that to make sure that on my exams I do the absolute best I can do.
Getting found out by his parents isn't Alex's only risk. There's also his health. This time last year he had a scare.
I didn't know what to take, so I thought if one was good, two would be better, and it was way over the recommended dosage. So for about half an hour I had this tingling sensation, and it was right before our exam too, so it was a very nerve-wracking moment.
That's not the worst side effect from taking study drugs. They can also cause heart attacks, mood swings, and depression. So what are those?
Adderall XR.
Will you show me one?
Sure.
Julian Uzieli is in his 4th year, and he knows the demand for study drugs because he actually has ADD, and students ask him for pills.
I think that if somebody is under so much stress and under so much pressure that they feel the need to illegally buy medication meant to treat a psychological disorder, that there's a problem there, that they feel that it's necessary to put themselves at risk in that way just to get good grades.
And that's something I keep hearing from students, that there's more stress now at university than there used to be, and that's why they take drugs. But hasn't school always been hard? Ma'am, can we ask you a question? Are you a professor? Outside, I find someone from the university who actually acknowledges the problem. And we're doing a story about study drugs. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
What do you know?
I don't know that much. I know the students are taking a lot of things to keep them awake overnight because they think that's a solution.
What does it say that students today are resorting to take drugs to perform?
It worries me because it means that they have so many pressures and stresses on them. They pick their courses with their parents standing over them saying, you have to do this, you have to do that. They come into university already with tremendous amounts of stress. And then, they'll do anything in order to try to do as well as they think everyone expects them to, whereas really they need to actually use this time to explore and experiment and maybe fail. Sometimes it's better to fail.
Failure isn't on Alex's radar. That's not why he's here. A week or so to go before exams, and all he worries about is what he thinks will happen if he doesn't take a pill.
Get ejected from my program and have to start almost over. And got 2 years done, wasted of university and $30,000. So I take the drug and make sure that I don't have that happen to me. And I know once I take it, I'm going to perform the best I can, no matter what.
Nick Purdon, CBC News, London, Ontario.